Hey everybody, Joseph Byler, personal trainer, strength coach, athletic trainer, and here to talk about total knee replacement. And it's been 57 days ago I had a total knee replacement on this right knee right here. I'll have you take a look. There's the scar. It's looking actually very fabulous. So I'll just give you an update. I have not made a bunch of videos about it in probably 25 days. I have had a problem with YouTube literally deleting my videos, and I believe there's some people reporting me because that's what has happened in the past when I've done like hip replacement videos, knee replacement videos, because there's been people upset at how fast of a recovery that I've had. I've been kicked out of groups online. I show MRIs, I've showed x-rays, I've showed day of hospital, I've showed all this stuff, and people get upset because of my progression. And I literally have had nurses and doctors literally call me names. So that's what I believe on YouTube is going on. They continue to just take them down and say I violated rules because of X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, enough of that. So how it's been the last few weeks is still, I'll tell you what, this has been the hardest recovery of any surgery that I've ever had or ever imagined about. Now, like I've said in videos from a long time ago, I've rehabbed people, clients and patients out of knee replacement, but it wasn't immediately after they were done out of the hospital. Most of the time it was after they were done with PT, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, and they still couldn't get their range of motion right or their extension right. And so I've helped them get more range of motion and extension through strength. So by putting resistance and tension on the muscle can create more range of motion and stability, believe it or not. So that goes against what many people believe, but you can't just let yourself be a wimp. You have to go forward and gain strength. There's some new data out, I believe it was in June 2024, so a few months ago, about this was over a 20-year study, and the number one cause of death after age 68, so age 68 and past, was falling, breaking a bone, or tearing ligament. And I can't cite the study off the top of my head. I should have had that ready, but I'm just talking. But the majority of the deaths after that, past cancer, past other ailments and diseases, was just breaking a bone and tearing ligaments, and within 5 years they died because they could not recover. This is why strength training is the most important thing in your life. It fights free radicals. Your body understands how to recover faster from injuries. It's just, there's too much to really cover and unpack on why it's that important and why it must be a staple in your life. And if it isn't, you have to change it. And if you don't, well, you're going to reap the harshness of breaking a bone, tearing ligaments as an older age. Is not good. So anyway, so having strength and stability and flexibility is the number one most primary thing in a person's life that should be for their health. Everything else should come second, due to how your body can fight free radicals and just become anabolic. And also studies show you can continually to make new muscle fiber until age 92 and 7/8 years old. Now that is a long 50-year plus conducted study they've done, but that is a really good reminder on you just never quit. So anyway, So it's been 57 days since this total knee replacement. As you can see, I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here on my box, and I've got probably about looking in there, probably about 110 degree, just sitting here, maybe even a 113, 115. I could probably bend it to a 115 pretty easy. I've gotten 126, and you have good and bad days. I would say I have an online coach. She's a PT, and now I'm meeting with her once a week. I was meeting with her twice a week since the day after surgery. And because I'm experienced in rehab, I still need somebody to bounce ideas off of and give me some new ideas. And I tell her what I'm doing, and we just mix it up. It's been probably the best collaboration of exercises and learning for probably the both of us than I've ever had in 20 some years, and she's ever had in over 20 years, I believe. It's been incredible, but the things that she has is so much experience with strictly knee replacement people. And she's told me many times, you're going to have a good day, a really good day, and then you're going to have 2 or 3 bad days. And then you're going to have half a good day. Then you're going to only have like 2 bad days, and then 1 or 2 really good days, and then 1 bad day. So it gets mixed up so much. So it can feel like you're 1 step forward, 3 steps back 1 week. The next week can be 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Then it can be 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and then all of a sudden you're 3 steps forward, 1 step back. So it is a juggle of emotion, anxiety, excitement, depression, you name it, it has all of them in a bundle. And the reason is because your nerves are trying to figure out if they want to accept that prosthesis or not. And now when I've had a total hip replacement, I didn't have that. I did not have that problem at all. I had 0 pain the whole time. Now I was slow. I wasn't going to win any races anytime soon at the time, but it's just a completely different animal. I had 0 pain, like none. And I hadn't experienced that in 6 years. I couldn't even externally rotate my leg because I had this hip replaced without significant amount of pain. And I had a pillow stuck underneath my leg for about 3 years on and off, just so I can not let it externally rotate because it was so bad. And believe it or not, the MRI showed, like my acetabulum was completely calcified from the labrum, completely torn and calcified, hard as a rock. So it was no longer there in existence. I had bone spurs that when the doc actually went in to cut my hip off, when he met with me afterward, he was just like, that MRI showed it was horrible, but it was so much worse than that. And that just shows you when an MRI shows something, it's probably way worse than even that would be. So it's just like my knee was same way. Like it was way more of a dramatic type of surgery, traumatic type of surgery than what it appeared to be, because of I had leaking bone marrow and bone spurs broke off and just fracture, and it was just a mess. It was an absolute mess. So what I'm here to tell you is now I have been coaching basketball. I have been athletic training basketball. I have been strength conditioning as a strength coach for basketball players. And I can't really say how many games that I have coached and worked since the 4th day after total knee replacement. But after the 4th day till now, 57 days, I believe I've done, now I'm going to tell you, it sounds sort of unbelievable, but I believe I've done 30 some games. I had a week where I did 3 triple headers and 2 double headers. So that was 13 in 1 week. Actually, that was 13 in 5 days I had. And that was traveling and also at our home school. So I have had an unbelievable time as far as how pain can just radiate into your knee and your leg. It's actually not the knee that hurt, it's the leg, right? Because your knee is new. That knee doesn't have any feeling. You know, the end of the femur and the tibia has no feeling. That is the knee. Steel and plastic. So it's just where they cut and drilled on both sides. So it's the bone. And it's the leg now. So the knee's new. It's a brand new car sitting in there. Tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm just hoping that this car can wear very nicely. And I hope that I fall in love with this car. Because right now, I like it, but I'm not in love with it yet. I'll be in love with it once I don't have this crazy pain that just wants to come in anytime it wants. So in 57 days, I have looked back on my Fitbit. I've had 6 days that I've had under 10,000 steps. So I have walked for 57 days, 51 days, 10,000 plus steps a day. Now, matter of fact, the day I had surgery, we were at the surgery center at 5 a.m. I believe we left at like 3 o'clock p.m. That day I had over 6,000 steps already, and that was the first day. I never used a walker. I used a walker only when I was at the hospital because I had to use it to show them what I could do, and then I refused to have one because I didn't need one. I could walk. I had a cane. I had one crutch that I used here and there around the house when I needed it, but I used a cane for 4 or 5 days when I needed it, but I did not use the crutch after that. Because I can walk, and I needed to tell myself I can walk. I don't need to just rely on leaning on something. That's just the way I want to live my life. I don't live my life with restrictions. I live my life to be active, and my doctor allowed me, he cleared me. When I hired him, I said, I want you to do it, but there's 2 things that I need from you. Because when you go to a doctor, please don't go to your very first one and say, that's the one I'm going to get. And it's right down the road from you. That's a really bad sign. You are hiring them. So you need to do your research. And I'm in the industry of training and therapies and whatnot. So I understand how anatomy and biological, biology works and orthobiologic, like stem cells and all these things that heal. I understand how this stuff works because I've had these treatments, and I read many studies all the way through, not just the headlines, because the headlines don't make any difference on that study. Most of the time they're opposite of what the study actually is. But I said, he's a rock star. He's one of the biggest up and coming rock star knee replacement guys in the country. He's done, multiple people from other countries fly into Detroit just to have him do work on them. He is an incredible guy. But anyway, I said, I need 2 things. I need no restrictions when I wake up, and I need to do my own physical therapy. I will not go to a physical therapist and have them tell me what I can and can't do. And he said he's never heard that before. He could not believe that I even asked that, and he accepted that was fine. He said, you're the only one I've ever heard, and you're the only one I'll probably ever allow to do that. But because of my background, and he says my determination, he's like, I'm gonna allow you to do that. But if you come in and you're not at 120 and 0 range of motion and extension, we've got some problems. And I said, I will be the best patient you've ever had. And thus far, he's never had anyone recover as fast as me and do what I've done, and happy with the surgery itself. So I'm here to tell you, if you are thinking about having a total knee replacement, don't just think because the doctor tells you you need to have that you need to have it. I would exhaust my other options first. I went 7 years with platelet-rich plasma and hyaluronic acid injections. So it cost money, and it took a while. I believe it would have lasted way, way longer than how it did for 7 years. I did it every 6 to 8 months for 7 years, and it worked. had I not slipped on the ice and completely wrecked this right knee that's already had so many procedures done that it's like uncountable. So if you ever have any questions, you can contact me anytime. I mean, I'll let you know what treatments are out there, but you do want to seek out the best that you can get to for a total knee replacement. And no, you have to know this. Once you get a new knee, you're not going backwards. You can't go back to a not new knee and your old knee back that you hated, because you're gonna not like your new one for a minute. You're gonna be glad. Like the last few weeks, I've been happy that I had it done, even though I'm really frustrated at times because the pain can get really, really crazy. Now I don't have any level 2 pain medications anymore. That's been gone quite a while ago. So I've made do with, just over-the-counter stuff. But I do use a gabapentin before I go to bed with a Tylenol PM, and that has allowed me to sleep through the night since, I believe it was like day 17. I have not woke up multiple times through the night because of that. So that's one thing that you can take with you. And I had to ask for that. So just from experience from others. So hopefully, you're gonna know this is a lot of pain. You're gonna have to go through it. Now, if you are not super, super, super active, you probably will have less pain than I've had. I've had a lot of pain, but I just endured it and I went through. But you're still gonna have a lot of pain, okay? You just gotta know that. But you gotta suck it up, you gotta do it. And you have to do a lot of therapy, like a lot. I do up to three, sometimes only 2, it depends. But most of the time, 3 therapy sessions a day. Sometimes more than that. It would be just little ones in between all the other ones. Sometimes every hour I'm doing something. For a long time, every hour I did something. I always walked, but I always did something. The bike is your friend. You have to use your bike. Red light treatment, I'm telling you, has been a game changer for healing. It's insane. And I also use ice and I elevate still, and I'm at day 57. I do it constantly. Every moment I can, and I believe that this knee right here will tell you what you can and can't do that day. You have to listen to it. It gets angry, do not make it more angry. You must listen to this and it will tell you what you can and can't do. So it is a positive thing. We just got to get through it. I know you're probably out there, you're going, this sucks. I don't even want to think of it. But listen, I got so desperate, there was nothing I could do. And I had to have it. I'm only 43 years old. When I was in college in my late 20s, I had a retired orthopedic surgeon that was one of the most prolific guys out of the Grand Rapids area, Michigan. He was in his 70s. And I was an example for 3 weeks on how bad my knee was in my 20s. And he said I needed a knee replacement then because it was that bad. And it was absolutely horrible. There was a moment, about a week or 2, I had honestly thought about cutting my leg off from above the knee down. And I didn't tell a lot of people about that. But it got so bad that I could not even think of anything because it hurt so bad for so many years. And I met Mike Barwis at University of Michigan, strength coach, the best strength coach in the world. And I got to learn under him back in 2008 at University of Michigan strength conditioning department. And he changed my life. And he taught me some things that I did not know. And from there, I learned so much from his methods. And I owe so much to him and Parker Whiteman, was his understudy, and the whole team there at University of Michigan back then. But anyway, I hope this is long-winded. I hope this helps somebody. You can always get a hold of me anywhere online. I go as Byler Zone or Amish Muscle. Check me out. I will message you back. I've talked to many people on the phone. It's fine. And I'll FaceTime you. I'll show you some rehab things that you can do that probably your physical therapist is not showing you that will help dramatically. I hope this helps somebody, and we will see you soon again.